Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. Let us know when you are.
Thank you.
We did about 30 minutes. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is.
This meeting is just not gonna last 30 minutes.
Mine is thinking about it.
Maybe an hour.
No, we are recording.
We're recording.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you, sir.
Great. Okay, so I'll call to order the Community Development and Renewal Agency Business Meeting for Tuesday, June 6th, 2023. As Mayor of Cottonwood Heights, I serve as the chair of the community, the CDRA agency, with members of the city council, all serving as members of the board. Our first item of business is an update on the Hillside Plaza. As most know, about a few weeks ago, we as a city acquired the property. And is Michael on, or are you just gonna do this?
Both of us.
Both, okay, so we're gonna turn some time over to our city managers, Tim Tingy, and Community and Economic Development Director, Mike Johnson. So,
Yeah, I'm just gonna give a brief intro. Mike, can you hear us okay? You're muted if you want to make sure he's on.
as he is, but
Can you hear us, Mike?
He's muted right now.
You're muted.
Some of that Aggie ice cream.
Yeah, he's in a coma. He is muted.
Okay, well, I'll give the, oh, he's sending a message saying something's going on. I can't hear anything. He's working on it. Okay. So anyway, we just want to let you know, we've been doing a lot of work on the management of the property. We've been getting everything, all of the information into our name as far as the alarm systems and all of the systems in place and the management of the facility. We'd have the tenants that we've been working with, and we have started having the payments from the tenants come in. I appreciate Mike Johnson and the work that he's done. Scott Jurgis has been heavily involved, and Shane Topham in all of this process. So we've made good progress as far as the management of the site and working towards that, and that's what we will continue to do. We tonight are going to talk a little bit about management agreement, but anyway, we've been doing all of that and we'll continue to do that. Then in addition to that, we were able to secure the grant from Wasatch Front Regional Council to do planning for the site. And they
Tim,
have,
I can hear now. I'm here. Just
okay.
an update. Sorry about that.
I'm going to turn the time over to you on the, if there's anything anything else you wanted to update? I just talked to them about what we've been doing on the site as far as managing the site with the tenants and with getting everything, all the utilities in our names and things such as that. And then I just was moving into the process of the WFRC grant, if you want to lead from there.
Sure. Yeah, thanks. Just a quick summary on that. We received 4 proposals through the WFRC procurement process. We have the review panel, which consists of staff and the mayor and staff from WFRC, have reviewed the proposals and scored them, and we have narrowed it down to a top 2 consultants who we will be meeting with to interview and ask questions to probably sometime next week. So we're close on finalizing a consultant for that, but we want to take our time and ask good questions and make sure we get the right project team that knows the area well, that knows what the city's priorities are here. So we're taking a little extra time to make sure we do that.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike. So Councilmember Burrell asked to, because she's not here, to add, Tim is going to read something that Ellen asked him to read.
Okay. Just a lead into, well, some of the discussion, the mayor had mentioned at one of our last meetings, the opportunity to look at a steering committee, which is something that's actually recommended as we go through a planning process. And so that's something we would like your input tonight, and we can have more of a formal vote on that at a future CDRA meeting. But some of this, I think, the reason I said that was some of this, it looks like.
And that's a good thing to
focuses
mention
on
too,
that.
because the top 2 RFPs that came in include involving a steering or ad hoc committee. So yep, I'm glad that you said that.
Okay, so this is what Council Member Burrell wanted me to read. So apologize for missing this important CDRA meeting. A few points that I'd like to leave with the committee. Appreciate the idea of an ad hoc committee that draws 2 representatives from each district. Additionally, I'd like the CDRA to consider a budget for additional consulting advice beyond the consultant firm who is chosen from the WFRC shortlist in DPC design, a new urbanist firm, which is proven innovator in reimaging existing space and streetscape that has good process to bring community along and build buy-in. Lastly, I appreciate the mayor indicating that I will be able to be present when MGB plus A/NWL and MHTN/BOTA, these are the 2 consulting firms, by the way, give their live presentation and interviewing prior to the Cottonwood Heights making their final decision on consultant firm preference. Thanks, Ellen.
Perfect. Questions, comments?
I have one that I mentioned to Tim some time ago, something that I would like to see as part of this request. I would really like to not see just one design come down the pike. I would like to see something where we can have some variety. Or these are just examples, but if you could possibly have one that was a little more housing focused. You could have another one that was maybe a little more retail focused. You could have one that had larger public space, or maybe a smaller public space with one of those other items in there. Things like that, so that as we go to decide what our ultimate choice is, it's not all just kind of, well, I kind of like this, but it's not all kind of just the same. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I agree. Other than the housing focused option, I agree with everything you said.
Well, I mean, again, there's certainly retail, there's some mixed use, there's all kinds of things, but I hate
More
to
open
kind of.
space. No, I agree with you.
The problem with the last one that came in is it was like, wow, that's just all housing and we don't like it. But I like to see options for maybe a smaller public space that works really, really well, but allows room for more retail development, or the restaurants that people seem to like. Maybe another one has a much larger part of that, which doesn't give as much economic development opportunity, but at least to have that bubbled out. That's something I'd like to see as a couple of options come out of them.
Great comment.
And for me, I'd like to be there for those presentations since it's in the midst of my district.
Okay.
And I don't want to push Ellen out, but for me, it's important since
Oh,
we've been
these not in
talking
the
about
meeting?
this.
Is that-
Okay, we're not gonna do that at the council meeting?
It's not planned to do that. So both groups are coming in to present their design team and to kind of answer questions from the committee. But so we could, we'll have to,
You need to
that would be
notice it.
a quorum and we'd have to notice it. But yeah, but I understand that for
Yeah.
sure. That makes sense, Councilor No.
We started this from, you were talking, Johnson, but I don't wanna be.
Yeah.
On the outside looking at it.
Agreed. Okay.
We've got. This is a pretty unique opportunity for us. And I
Sure.
think this is, I don't want to say this is the only opportunity we're gonna get, but pretty close to the only opportunity we're gonna get to get it right. I think the city and the residents have invested a lot in this project, and I think all of us would say we want to be intimately involved and make sure that it's done properly. And frankly, I'd like to go see other options of what is, even if it's along the Wasatch Front. I'm not saying we're going to, Timbuktu, but with the vision of what people are saying we want to take here, are there other things nearby that we can at least get some fill of to try to replicate that is a success story? Would be super helpful.
No, great comments. The, whoever we choose for this design phase is going to rely on us. For everything that everybody said. I mean, so they're gonna be relying upon us for starting points. They're gonna do all the hard work, but we're gonna tell them direction. And so everything that has been mentioned is a positive comment for that. So.
Yeah, so to add to what the mayor said, we were not anticipating to have the final selection of the consultant by the consultant was going to be selected and then start working with us. That's typically a process that happens. Definitely agree that, and we can notice a meeting if there's involvement and more, but
We'll discuss how to do that, whether or not we want to bring it in front of a work session, I guess is a possibility. We could, right? Or if we just notice a committee meeting. So we'll figure that out. We'll get the details hammered out.
and the other thing, as far as just thinking through what you want to do with the steering committee and who you want on that, talk about making sure there's representation from each district since this impacts, but who we would want kind of input from you on who you would want to be on that committee. If you do 2 from each district as residents assisting, but we need to kind of, we're not in a major hurry on that, but we need to start thinking that through a little bit.
And this committee would be something that would be set up front to help guide the process. Is that correct?
So this committee would be organized to really get resident input. So to work with the design group that both, like I told you, both RFPs included working with steering committees made up of residents. I think the 2 per district is a great idea, but I think District 3 might need, I think it'd be relevant or worth having 3 or 4 because it's in their district, but I want representation from every single district. I think is
That's
important.
critical.
Yeah.
This is-
Throw a rock. It's downhill and you get a good arm.
Yeah, 2's pretty dangerous there. Yeah, you're right.
But it is, it's our biggest traffic areas are obviously Union Park, Highland Drive, and then Wasatch, Fort Union just a little bit, but this is definitely the next one in there. That if you can manage to bring some livelihood into there, it could thrive very, very well. So it definitely applies.
Yeah, I'll add a comment. Mike Johnson and I attended the ICSC conference in Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago, and we were in discussions. We had a meeting with the company, one of the largest retail broker in the country. It said the number one retail location in the state is from the family center development to the is it Park Center Drive? That's the Home Depot Street. Yeah, is the number one retail sector in the state right now, ahead of every other, ahead of Southtown. I mean, so the fact that we have that in our city, we can
Okay,
push
from,
people.
from where to where? I get Union Park Center or just that general area?
That family town center, family center with the, has the,
Like 13th East or
uh-huh,
9th East.
uh-huh.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Councilmember Bracken. From Midvale over into Cottonwood Heights, so the Trader Joe's, Target, Home Depot area into the Walmart area over in Midvale. He said in terms of location and access and ease of access, that's the most in demand location that in the state of Utah. And then on the other side of it, you've got the canyon traffic, so it puts the town center in a really good situation to capture a lot of those people.
It captures some good retail partners too. Perfect. Okay, so you've probably noticed items 3 and 4. When you've more than noticed, they're on our agenda. But the part we had something come up with the property management agreement. Do you want to talk about that, Tim? You want to get the back or
Yeah,
Mike?
I'm gonna let Mike
Okay,
do that.
Mike.
Yeah, so we put an RFP out for property management services and got 2 responses and picked a qualified provider and ran into some issues in the contract negotiation phase. So that's we're asking that to be tabled so we can either keep working through those issues with that provider or have discussions with the runner-up provider, or maybe even put out an RFP and try to get some new proposals, because we couldn't come to terms on a few key provisions that the city really needs to see in that contract.
Any questions?
So does that mean this resolution
We won't be
needs to table it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That's just the cut to the chase. Simple answer for.
Do we need a
District
motion,
two.
Shane, to do that?
Yeah.
So could I get a motion to
Move that we table action item 4.1, resolution 2023-03.
Second.
approving a property management agreement with West Air Corporation for Hillside Plaza? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any
It
opposed?
seems weird to do that in this room though.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we are in a business meeting. We can do that. All right.
Okay, last item is just the approval of the minutes. Let me read to you real quickly how this works. The minutes of this meeting will be approved through the following process. The agency's secretary promptly will circulate a draft copy of the minutes to the board members, who then will have 3 days to provide any proposed corrections to the secretary. The secretary will then circulate a revised draft of the minutes to the board members, and the same review process will continue until such time as no corrections to the minutes are needed and are received within 3 business days review period, whereupon that draft of the minutes will be deemed approved and will become the final minutes of the meeting. So at this point, I will entertain a motion to adjourn our CDRA meeting.
I'll make that motion to adjourn our city RA meeting.
Second.
The motion to approve in a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed?